Hello, hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. It doesn't matter if people pick up and realize who they believe me to be or think I am, which is not the case. Meaning that I am something that a lot of people cannot understand and or have never heard of, have never met, have never encountered. I'm aware of this. God made me aware of this. And there are a lot of individuals that were also aware of this too, and they used it to their benefit, their advantage, as well as they lost me because of their abuse and mistreatment. Now, I've been telling people that I have shared my truth with that one day they're going to hear my story and they're going to know exactly why they met me, why there was an interaction between the two of us. Nothing ever just happens, really. Especially when it comes to me. There are people that are led to me, there are people that I am led to. And it's all to be a blessing. A blessing to each other. Showing love for one another. Where I'm at, there are a lot of veterans around here, and disabled veterans, as they put them, by their license plates and whatnot. But, the truth is that I have rarely ever come across a veteran. I'm not saying that this, is not, the case for a majority or a lot of them. I've seen a lot of veterans that, they exit their vehicles and they look as if they have their stuff together. They don't look as if there's anything wrong. They're walking normally. They don't seem to have any ailments that are visible to the naked eye. They are able to conversate and talk and communicate properly, but there's always something that occurred and or happened while they were serving that they may not talk about, or they may not like to talk about, or they've healed from. They've done the necessary work, and they've healed from that. And they never have stopped being a service member. Even a service member to their community. Maybe not for the branch or military branch that they're a part of, but to their community. Meaning that, they will help their neighbor, they will take care of their family, their friends, and so on and so forth, right? Even though they may have PTSD, even though they may have a disability or some kind of ailment, something that they are suffering from, they're still out here doing great things, right? So, how am I any different? If I'm one of God's chosen children, and I have been on God's team, and I've been out here in the world, and I was brought into a family, placed in a family by Him, where He knew I was going to be abused, mistreated, lied on, disrespected, pimped out. God allowed those things to happen to me because I'm one of His. I'm doing His work. I'm doing what God has called me to do. I answered the call. I accepted the mission. So now that I'm no longer in and or around those people that did all those nasty and negative things, now that I have disassociated myself from those friends, those acquaintances that were always against me and always attacking me, now that I am no longer around those people, God has brought me to a new place to be a blessing to others in this area that I'm in. He has expanded my territory. There are people that need to see me, people that need to meet me, people that need to experience me. And no, I'm not talking about on a sexual level. You see, one of the misconceptions about those that are either homosexual or lesbian or transgender, which a lot of people think I am, which I am not. I'm bigender. One of the misconceptions is that we have a disease, that we have a problem, we have issues, we have a disability. And a lot of people have used that as a crutch, and they have used that as a reason as to why they do certain things or behave in certain ways, or why they even need support or assistance. And there are people out there that have a problem or an issue with that. There are people out there that have a hatred and a prejudice towards individuals like that. People have hated me and have been prejudiced towards me because they believed I was something that I never was. And they also have a hatred and prejudice towards me because I'm someone that they don't understand and have never had any kind of contact or interaction with or conversation with. I just spoke to one individual that was parked right next to me. I was backing in as he was coming out to his vehicle, and I asked him a question about how he liked living here in this area, how long he had been living here. You see, I'm getting the information. I'm talking to people. I'm exposing myself. I'm letting people know that I'm here. That way they can tell their friend and tell their family member and tell their colleague, hey, guess who I saw today? Guess who I met? And they were actually pretty chill. They were actually pretty cool. They weren't crazy. They weren't disgusting. They weren't this. They weren't that. They were actually this. They were actually that. They were actually cool. They were actually, and changing minds, changing perspectives. The other day, I made a comment on a post on Instagram that was talking about THC, Delta 8. I had experience with THC Delta 8 for over 3 years. I made a comment speaking on my opinion regarding the product and how it needs to be regulated and or banned until it is regulated, because I had some interesting experiences on that drug. And someone replied to my comment that said that's a good thing that they banned it. They replied to that comment calling me a chomo, which is slang prison term for child molester, which I have never been, never planned to be, and have no interest in. Actually am very disgusted when I hear about anybody that is a child molester. To call me out of my name and or to call me something that I am not, because they have misconceptions about certain individuals believing that they're all the same. And that's a problem that a lot of people have, is that they have these misconceptions that are actually going to end up getting them in trouble, as well as getting other people in trouble based on opinions, as well as prejudices and hatred. It's very dangerous. I'm here to stop that. Yes, I'm here to stop that. I'd speak on the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And now I have to get some people in order and in check when it comes to certain misconceptions and beliefs that are incorrect and dangerous to society as a whole. Gonna leave it at that. Gotta go.